Joining us here on the East Texas Now desk is our reporter Alex Weister, who's here to talk to us about a story he's been reporting on today. Tyler State Park holding a hike to raise awareness for suicide among U.S. veterans. How's it going, Alex?
Going great.
So talk to us a little bit about this event. Obviously, veteran suicide awareness is a very important issue.
Absolutely.
Not just here in East Texas, but around the country.
Yes.
So give us a little bit of information on just how much of an epidemic this is.
So when you look at it, I mean, the rates since the beginning of the 2000s have doubled in some age groups. 18 to 35, we've seen the rates double amongst veterans in that age group. And it's truly a tragedy just seeing the rise and the numbers just increase year in and year out with the number of veterans that are struggling with mental health issues or taking their own lives.
And I want to bring something up here. I did some research before you came up on our show, and I looked at some data from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Now, this was published in 2024, but the data is from 2022. In 2022, over 6,400 suicides just in that 1 year, 17.6 suicides per day. And of those roughly 18 per day, 7 of those who committed suicide received Veterans Health Administration care. So, I mean, what we're talking about here is really, as you said, it is an absolute tragedy.
It is.
And how are people raising awareness to this issue? I know that the Tyler State Park held this hike, and you were there. So tell me what was the experience?
So Tyler State Park is a group that I watch closely for events that they do. They're very involved with the community, and they're very involved with the veteran community as well. At the state park, they have a multitude of park rangers who are veterans themselves, so they are well taken care of in that department. But of course, they have the discounts for veterans coming into the park. But today, it was free admission for anybody that was coming on this hike. It was the first time ever that they had held something like this, and it got off to a great start. They had roughly 20 people on the hike, and they plan to expand on it next year. Talking to some of the veterans, it was interesting because it was a mix of park rangers who aren't veterans and, of course, the veterans who work there and were on the hike as well. Just hearing that they were sharing stories and they were building these bonds with people that they've never met before over something that they have done separately in their life. And it truly is amazing just to hear the stories that come out of that and the fact that they were able to bond and create new relationships with people that they hadn't met before along this 2-hour hike that they were on throughout, of course, the beautiful Tyler State Park.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned the fact that this was held at the state park, oftentimes I think we hear sometimes that nature is a form of therapy.
Absolutely,
Is
yes.
that part of what inspired specifically the Tyler State Park to raise awareness for veteran suicide? I mean, you have this beautiful park, and maybe just spending time in nature can help take your mind off of some difficulties.
Absolutely. And in the other veteran interview that I did that we won't see here, he mentions getting outside, being out there with nature. It helps a lot. Just knowing, going outside, meeting new people, being in nature, going on hikes like this with other veterans and being able to share those stories, it shows that there are other people that care about you and can give you a sense of purpose in life. And it truly is just incredible to hear something like that.
All right. Well, you said that they were planning on expanding that hike coming into next year. Did they tell you about any specific plans they had?
They plan on bringing in more vendors. They plan on changing up the trail a little bit. They said despite it being a 2-hour hike, they felt that it was too short, and so they want to expand on how long they have the hike be for next year. They hope that with it being the first year, of course, they have more people show up next year. So just overall changing trail patterns, bringing in more vendors, bringing in more people, just overall trying to build on the success that they already had this year.
All right. Well, good to hear that they consider it a success for this year, and hopefully it does end up expanding next year, and that events like these are held more frequently, because this is absolutely a very important issue that I feel like our country has been dealing with for quite a while
Yes.
now. And so who did you talk to for this interview that we were about to see?
So I got to talk with two park rangers. Both of them were on the hikes. One is a veteran. He was a combat medic for 23 years, so he has some very lengthy experience, and he will talk about sort of the battles that he saw with other people, both in and out of combat. He said, it's not something that stays with them just in combat. It travels with them outside into normal life. Like we've heard stories of many different times of these veterans battling these issues outside of their active duty. And then with the other park ranger, of course, he's not a veteran, but he helps facilitate these events for the state park. And he just talks about how incredible it is to hear these stories of these veterans and see the bonds that they were creating. And of course, with it being the first year, what it's like for them being able to bring something like this into the state park that they did not have before.
All right. And it just occurred to my mind, we hadn't even mentioned this yet, but September, of course, is Suicide Awareness
Yes, it is.
Month. So let's go ahead and take a listen to those interviews you did at the Tyler State Park for their first ever Veteran Suicide Awareness hike.
It's awesome. We had a great turnout. This is our first time that we've done this, and I do appreciate Texas Parks and Wildlife hosting this event. As a veteran, I can't say more about it. It's great, and we had a great turnout, as you can see in the background. The rain was a little bit of a concern this morning, but you know what? We had a great showing, and maybe next year it'll even be better.
And now, as a veteran, what is it like being able to bring this to the park and gather all these veterans together?
Well, I'm really invested in that. Obviously, as a prior service member, I've dealt with the unique circumstances that veterans go through. Some of the stressors that they have bringing from the service and their time in service, and this is a good opportunity for them to meet other veterans, to get outside and enjoy the great outdoors, enjoy the natural park settings.
And now, what branch did you serve in?
I was in the Air Force. I was a medic, a little over 23 years, and been here, been there, did a little bit of everything.
And now, talk about how important of a cause that this is to highlight with these mental issues that they may be battling after going through their service time.
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, veterans are a unique subset of society. They bring with them, stressors and experiences that many people don't have, and sometimes they have a difficult time acclimating to their new environment. And so bringing people together to talk about some of those things, having organizations here to support them is a great thing.
And now, obviously, how important is it that we take care and honor these veterans whenever we can?
We have a lot of support here for veterans. We offer many services. We offer free entrance for veterans. We offer family members as well. So, we try to do everything we can here to support our veterans.
And now, for you being a veteran, how difficult is it for you to see the issue that has arisen with the mental struggles that these veterans go through?
Well, again, my primary job in the military was as a medical person, and during that time frame I saw a lot of personnel, a lot of military members struggling with their experience in the military. It affected them tremendously, and that didn't go away when they left the service. It carries on into their civilian life, and so having these things available to them is just to me very important. And so we're here to make sure that we bring that awareness to that particular those particular issues that they have.
And you mentioned, of course, this is the first year, and you guys had a great turnout. Do you hope to see this grow and bring in even more veterans and more groups out here next year?
Absolutely. This is just the beginning. We are already planning for next year. We've got some things that we know we probably need to do a little bit better. But we're looking. We're very excited for next year, and hopefully I'll be available as well. And we want the public to know that this is happening, and maybe they can share that with the folks that they know.
And just wrapping up, is there anything else that I didn't ask about that you wanted to add?
No, we just appreciate everybody who's here. As you can see in the background, we had a great turnout again, and again, we just want to make sure that the public knows that this is something that they have available to them. There may be some folks out there that may not know about this, and so thank you for coming down here and shining a light on this.
And so tell me a little bit about what was happening here today.
So today is our first annual Veterans Suicide Awareness Hike. So it is a big event. We started at 8 o'clock this morning, and we had 2 hikes going on. We had our shorter version of a hike, which is Loop C. That was a little under 2 miles. And if you wanted to do the full hike, it would have been 5 miles. After that hike, you come back to the Northwoods Pavilion, and there are some local vendors coming out supporting veterans and showing resources that are able to help veterans.
And of course, you are around a lot of the events here at the park. Being able to bring something like this here, what is it like seeing something of this magnitude and this seriousness and importance, I guess you could say, too?
It's really amazing seeing the community come together to support veterans and seeing the brotherhood and sisterhood that is still alive even after their acts of service. Just seeing people who aren't even veterans who are still coming out to show support for the veterans. So it's really, really nice being able to see the local vendors come out and show their support.
And so how important of a cause is this for you guys to highlight?
Well, it's a real important thing for TPWD alone, just because we show our appreciation to active and veterans, our active military and veterans. So if they ever wanted to come inside our headquarters and get a park pass, they are more than welcome to do so. Now, how important is it? It's very, very important to make sure that we have our roots with our communities, and it's not just our day-to-day people. It's the veterans as well. We want to make sure that we show appreciation to everybody.
And now, of course, what this is highlighting, the big struggle that surrounds veterans, just seeing something like that, and of course talking with the other veterans here, knowing those stories, just how devastating is something like that, knowing what they have to go through and just how difficult that can be.
So I can't speak on behalf of what it is to be as a life for a soldier or an active duty military personnel, but I do know that life can sometimes get hard. And here we are showing that there are resources out to help you.
And now, how important is it, of course, that we have something like this and honor and take care of these veterans?
Again, it's just showing them that, hey, we're here to support you in any way means necessary, and that there is vendors and the local community who is out here to support you.
And of course, with this being the first year, seeing the group that came out and seeing, of course, everybody still out here, what is that like, and what do you expect to see for the future of this?
It's honestly awe-inspiring just seeing, this is our first, and I didn't expect it to be a really big turnout. I'm really, really happy with the turnout that happened. Everybody here is happy to be here. Everybody here showed up, even though the weather isn't as ideal as we thought, but it's really, really nice seeing the community come together. Now, in terms of next year, I'm hoping for it to be bigger. I'm hoping for a bigger turnout, and I'm hoping for more vendors. I just like to see a big grand scheme of things. I want it to be bigger and better every year coming forward.
And of course, you were out on the hike. Talk about what that was like, just being out there with them.
So on the hike, I completed the full 5 miles, and it was a lot of fun. You get to hear a lot of different stories, a lot of different branches of government that they served, or branches of military that they served. It's a lot of fun hearing their stories. Some of them were very recent, and some of them are very, I don't want to say very old, but they served quite a while ago, and they're still coming out here to be with their brothers and their sisters.
And was that almost like a surreal moment, just being on a hike with all of these veterans, just hearing all of these different stories and the camaraderie around them?
It's honestly, it's really inspiring, and it just makes me want to thank them even more by bringing this type of event to the park.